Uh, my name is Achut and my teammate name is Sriram. Our project is about HOLLER smart application to enable peer-to-peer communication with neighbors and acknowledgement. This is abstract. Uh, in the modern world full of busy schedules, we cannot communicate with our neighbors as we are busy with our all works. Most of all fall into trap of over compromising work with other sets. We we deem less necessary or something. So that our aim is to develop a web application so that we can communicate with our neighbors easily. The project was divided into three major sections: research, design, and development. Research means we have to research about this project. Design means we have to design the overall concept which we are going to implement, and development means after all plan and we have to execute our plan. First part deals with extensive market and alternative solutions to the problem statements. In this we can communicate with our neighbors, and we can peer-to-peer messaging will be handled by a live server, like means we can contact with them live, like video calls and all. Keywords are peer-to-peer communication networks, DDoS, security reference architecture, and leeching. List of figures: architecture diagram, data flow diagram, use case diagram, class diagram, sequence diagram, input design, output design, test result, output 1 and output 2. List of acronyms and abbreviations are IEEE. IEEE means Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer. IoT means Internet of Things. IP means Internet Protocol. ACK means Acknowledgement. API means Application Programming Interference. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol. This is a table of contents, and this is introduction. Introduction is in today's busy world we cannot talk with each other as we are having full of our busy works, and our aim is to provide that a platform where users can communicate and execute their plans and create with each other in a well positively engaged neighborhood community. We named this platform as HOLLER. You may have called your neighbors from your balcony or to the people next window for small talk chit chat, or we can do live video calls also. Another very critical feature of this application is its ability to help new residents or those who need help, and with that we can implement our business also. Our aim of the project is the aim of the P2P network and application journals is to disseminate state of the art research and development results in this rapidly growing research area. We can create a peer-to-peer communication network so that we can communicate with our neighbors easily. And scope of the project, it is obvious from the above security. It's a crucial issue when it comes to designing and implementation peer-to-peer system. At the moment, it's probably main inhibiting factor of growth of peer-to-peer communication. At the moment, security measures in general feeling to inspire consumer confidence. So in this, we have to improve security also so that our data won't be stolen. This is literature review. And project description. Existing system framework of this project is to connect with the live servers for every time when communication want to done means when we want to communicate with our neighbors, we can simply log into our website, so that by entering ID we can communicate with each other. Proposed system: there are already many social network platforms, but uh, in our proposed system is we can communicate with each other in live server, and we can message each other and easily connect with anyone only by sharing the ID. Advantages: much easier to set up than a client server network. Does not need a specialist knowledge. Does not need an expensive server because individual workstations are used to access the file. No need for a network operation system because each communication might be accessed by others. um, Feasibility study. Feasibility study is basically the test of proposed system in the light of its workability. Means it's categorized as a technical, operational, economic, and social feasibility. Next, economic feasibility. Economic feasibility of this project is to include cost and development, implementation of the system and maintenance, so that with the low cost only we can implement everything and we can connect with neighbors. Technical feasibility. Technical feasibility of this project, it's related with version of browser unless there is a less chance of technical problem unless occur in code section. Social feasibility means project consists of two aspects. First is to connect with the people and those who are with our neighbors, and other is we can communicate with others also by sharing our ID. System specifications. Hardware specification: we used a Intel i3 processor or above, hard disk with minimum 150 GB storage, monitor with 14 color monitor, 14-inch color monitor, RAM. We use it 4 GB or above RAM. Software applications, browser, Google Chrome we have used. And programming languages we have used is Browsify and HTML. Standards and policies. This is the standards and policies which we are using for our project, like Bureau of Indian Standard Acts of 1986 and Right to Information Act of 2005 in order to promote public education and all. Personal computer are intended to be operating directly by an end user rather than by a computer or a expert or technician. And this is methodology. In this methodology, first we want to explain about general architecture. In this diagram, we will see how peer-to-peer communication will be done. First, the server plus client can access the data so that they can share via internet to another peer. Means they can enter their ID and they can share the video. And this common client server architecture, multiple client can communicate with central server. In this, peer-to-peer communication will be done. And next, design phase, data flow diagram. This is the data flow diagram, means how the process will be done, how we can chat with our neighbors, and how we can disconnect, and how we can save the video, or how we can run, how we can pause, how we can end that all, and will be present in data flow diagram. It can be shared via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi direct. It's a local database which is designed to keep records for class attendance. This is use case diagram. In this use case diagram, student, client and server, both can access the data at a time by entering their ID. Here P2P technology is used, and we can communicate with each other. It's an appropriate in cases where user do not wish to rely or cannot centralize on our third party service provider. Um, Now class diagram. In this class diagram, we will see how peer A and peer B will contact each other via internet. Directory server and peer server both are present in this class diagram. It's fully based on UML, Unified Modeling Language. Uh, the dynamic modeling mechanism was introduced, such as state diagram and class diagram. This is sequence diagram. In this sequence diagram, we can see how the browser, web server, and signal servers are connected each other. They work each other at a time to communicate with neighbors. As that browser, web server, and signal servers continuously work at a time, so that we can contact with other neighbors. Module description. When a user first joins a room and there is a live server connection established between the user, which now will be represented as a client, and the JavaScript, this handles the client and forward the details, so that client can join with other peer. This is implementation. Input design means we have, after implementing, we have got the ID, other ID, and message, so that we can enter the ID, so that we can join a live server. Testing, output design. This is testing. The purpose is to validate that each unit of software code performs expected. Unit testing is done during the development coding phase only. Types of testing are unit testing, integration testing, functional testing. Unit testing is a type of software where individuals, units, or components of a software are tested. In this we can execute the code and all. Integration testing is the phase in software testing in which individual softwares are combined and test as a group. Now white box testing. In white box testing, it's a kind of testing whether the tester knows the internal and function working of the system being tested. In this, we can some few initial bugs with the and chart module found in this phase of testing, will be done by using white box testing. Black box testing is a method of testing in which the tester has zero knowledge of the internal structure and working of the system. With a few rounds of testing and recursive improvement, the system was good as a whole. And next, this is the test result and discussion. In this existing system, the existing framework of this project is to connect live server, and proposed system is there is no use of sending any friend request. Means we can directly share our ID so that we can join with our neighbors. Advantages and of the proposed system. It's much easier to set up with the client and server. Does not need any expensive server because it's free of cost. Do not need of a network operating system, because each computer might be being accessed by others, so it can slow down the performance of the user. And this is our coding. HTML code. In this we can use ID, so that by using this code we can enter message, we can create ID and all. We can report also, we can set the with the device and initial. We can save a box as message, so we can enter a message in this coding. In this it contains ID and other ID. Index.html, in this we can create ID and all. This is index.js. This code is used for connecting live servers. Live servers means live talking, like video call and all. In this we can access this by entering ID and all. So that after entering we can connect and we can send message. This is bundle.js. Is the supporting coding of this index.js. Here we can connect live servers. This is the supporting code, and this is the package JSON. In this we can include keywords and all, like license, and we can update security by using Browsify. Here in this we have to type npm .str start and web track chart. Npm start means after that it will create this desktop project WebRT chart. Automatically it will reload and then HTML. Here we have to open with live server. Now live server will start, and this is our code output, like local our IP address is localhost dot 5500. One has to be the initiator and one has to be the peer, so that after this again we have to enter local host dot 5500, so that again it will appear like this. After that it will redirect the ID, and we have to paste this ID to the other ID of another peer, and then we have to connect. After that output to conclusion and future enhancements. In conclusion, P2P networks can be implemented with very little investment cost, but in order for the network to work properly, a user must be experienced with computer and strict guidance of the uh, browser, and how to know handle it. In my experience, P2P networks tends to become one more of headache instead of helping about 6 computers. So future enhancements are the current breadth and depth of research in P2P communication network is a viable and useful infrastructure for business applications. It can be used for several useful applications like content distribution, load balancing, and grid computing. Peer-to-peer is a natural evolution of decentralized computing and the increasing the power of client machines. It can be easily done, so that in future also we can contact with each other using peer-to-peer communication. It's a plagiarism report. It's a source code. This is another code, and this is the poster presentation. Poster presentation. Abstract. Most of us will fall in the trap of compromising work with others. It's abstract. Introduction. In this poster, we have included abstract introduction, results, standards, and policies, conclusion, and diagrams, also methodologies, including acknowledgements.